Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Money Matters, Money Mondays. My name is Lawrence, accompanied by my Youth Advisory Council members.
Kendall.
Tyler Mitchell.
And today we have for you is a PowerPoint on consumer smarts and basically go over how to be a smart consumer and how to, avoid scams. Because as you know, it's a lot of fishy people out here that is trying to get into your pockets, trying to get your coins, and we want to avoid that by all means.
And so I have a question for those watching the stream. Would you fall for this?
Read it to the people.
So this is Vladimir Putin, president of Russia. Some people kidnapped me and put my duplicate in Russia. I didn't start the war. He did. I escaped and I'm now hiding in your country. Can you send me like 3,000 rubles so that I can go back to Russia and stop this war, which is like roughly $40? This is real me. I can send selfie.
So this is no, it's obviously fake, obviously a scam, but these are just a sample of some of the baits, as foolish as it may be. These are how they lure you in.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a sample. They got much more, deceptive tactics to get you to give them some money and trick you out your money. So
it may be creative, but it isn't very smart.
Yeah.
But some can be creative and smart, and those are the ones to worry about.
Yeah. So the three main things we want to get out of this PowerPoint is learn why consumer protection applies to personal finance, understanding how to avoid being a victim of deceptive consumer scam and practices, and discuss best practices to use when making consumer purchases. So yeah, just how to be a better consumer and how to, be a little bit more aware. So this is a chart that shows just how big fraud is. So we got 5.9 billion total fraud losses, with the median loss being $500. Now, as you see on this graph, some people manage to, recover that money, get that money back from the scam, but you have a large minority that actually was robbed out of that money. And that's really the trick for a scammer. They send out scams in masses, but they know everybody not going to fall for it. So they send out a scam to like 100 people, and 6 people fall for it. That's a victory for them. So they already know that not everybody going to fall for it, but they just looking for the few minority to trap.
And oftentimes those minority are like farmed, like they go to them for a constant source of, manipulation.
Yes. And this is another alarming chart where you see in 2018, we have over 400,000 identity theft. That then increases to over 600,000. And then in 2020, we got a whopping over like 1 million identity theft numbers. Each year, identity theft increases drastically. So a question for y'all is, what would you estimate? What would you think 2021 or 2022 would be? And do you think it will increase? Do you think it will decrease? What do you think, Tyler?
I most definitely think it increased tremendously, because one, a reliance on the internet is getting bigger. 2, crypto scams are getting much more widespread. And 3, of course, like COVID, people are most definitely scamming about that.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Yeah.
And you realize the big rise in 2022, which is is obviously, you see because of COVID, 2 million, and it fits the pattern because you see how drastically each of the identity theft numbers jump throughout the years. So yeah, it's just alarming.
And they had a lot of programs to recover from COVID loss,
Yeah.
lost their jobs. So
yeah, COVID was
a lot of scams.
COVID was already was such a hard time that scammers, they realized that they hunt out vulnerable people. These are the people like they really try to target: children or people who are just vulnerable. And COVID obviously has a lot of vulnerability.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so just something to be aware of. Uh, is a smart consumer? So you see, avoid scams and frauds, but not everybody wants to do that. But how do we do that? What we really want to go to, and some steps you really could take is doing the research before buying a product, looking into it, looking into the price, look into whatever you want to get, and make sure it's meet the criteria that you want it to meet. You know, gets good deals, value for money spent. So you not only do the research, but you take in consideration, you know, the prices. Is if I get this from one store, but another store is offering a better one, I should probably go to that store. But you gotta do the research to find that out. Uh, Knows where to complain if needed. Some
Mm-hmm.
people who get a scam, they just chalk it up as a loss. I was I was robbed. There's nothing I could do about that, which is not always true. There's plenty of resources that can help you recover from fraud. And if it sounds too good to be true, it is. We hear that all the time. So that's like, you know, a motto that you hear common, but it's very important to, you know, you want to use, you know, a bit of common sense to see,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if they want a PlayStation 5, but get it for $50, that doesn't sound too true.
Always read the fine print because people always honey their words, but most definitely the words that they have in contract are oftentimes more bitter than what they say.
Yes. So, you know, wordplay, something to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what to do if you get scammed? So we have things you could do. Police report. If you get scammed, you can follow a police report. You could freeze your credit freeze. You could change your passwords, which is important because, you know, you don't want people to get a hold of your passwords. Like, especially, you know, if it could open up to different account, and especially if you're
Oh,
using that
absolutely.
same password. If you use the same password for Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and they get a hold of that password, that's most of your social media platforms. Or it
It
could
may
be
seem like
worse.
it may seem convenient to have a bunch of passwords, but it'll seem less convenient when you have a bunch of your stuff stolen.
Yeah. So you do you want to like try to switch it up a bit. I would recommend not to have, you know, the same password for everything. So just so these are some methods to do if
Mm-hmm.
you do find yourself unfortunately at the end of the scam. So yeah. Two ways that you could get scammed as we're talking about different methods because these scammers they got different ways that they can try to trap you. They're like chess players.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to be aware of that.
In the
So
comments, what do you think? Some I guess name 2 ways that one could get scammed.
yeah, or some that you've seen that
Mm-hmm.
they try to bait you. Press it. Yeah. So we see the most common methods of stealing identity. Which one do y'all stand out to y'all the most?
Skimming information from like store transactions because I gotten like about $80 stolen from me because a card skimmer. I didn't notice before, and afterwards I was like, dang, and I had to change my information and all. Like card skimmers are definitely frightening.
Yes. Anyone stick out to you the most?
Um,
Shoulder surfing.
like people on the internet.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
ever see on Instagram and they'll get somebody page and then they'll try to get you to tap the link
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and everything that you have is gone. And sometimes like you can have your credit card information on your Instagram because like they have where you can buy items on it. So I feel like, you know, you just gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Shoulder surfing is definitely a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, real.
And dumpster diving, I had some people like, what is this? People will go through your trash and try to look for a bit of information, whether it's your name, a phone number, address. They try to get, because that was really the dangerous part. They could get like one piece of your information, and that could be enough to satisfy them because they could use that to build and get more information. Paying insurance on a car that doesn't exist, then another way is hacking. Those are the most, you know,
Mm-hmm.
dangerous people.
Yes,
You gotta be aware.
hacking is
Hackers.
crazy because like they have like Facebook Pay, like the what is it, marketplace.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram has where you can buy clothes. So I think you can save your like banking information on there.
yeah.
And I think if somebody gets your account, then they have your banking information. They can they want to spend your whole
Yeah,
credit card, your whole check, the whole check. Like,
yeah,
why would you want that bad?
yeah. So
You gotta be
just
careful.
be mindful of sites or that you put your banking information or any
Hmm.
information. You just want to be aware. And we just got more consumer scams. The COVID-19 scam, which we saw in 2020, the drastic increase. That's because during that time, as I said, it was a lot of vulnerability. A lot of people lost their job. A lot of people was in need of money, and they were just looking for a way. So scammers see how desperate people in because of their unfortunate circumstances, and they bank off that. Uh, Imposter or identity theft, pretend to be you, or IRS scam. They call your phone and tell you that you are behind on your taxes or something of that nature. Be aware of all of these because this they are clever. They got different ways to try to trap your king, that being your pockets. So yeah, just be aware.
So, what does the FTC stand for? It stands for the Federal Trade Commission, and it has gotten up to, at least from when this presentation was made, 232 million in restitution. It involved the first case involving fake online reviews, which I have a story on. If you know Fallout 76, the products based around them were initially had a bunch of false reviews, like on clothing related to things that Bethesda themselves were selling, and in some areas, I forget exactly where. I know America did not like it whatsoever, and so they had to change that, and the FTC was involved in that. And there's also the University of Phoenix, who had refunded 50 million and canceled up to 141 million in debt. And about the FTC, their mission statement is working to protect consumers by preventing anti-competitive, deceptive, and unfair. B, informed consumer choice and public understanding of the competitive process, and unduly burdening legitimate business activity. And so, overall, a pretty useful service. And
Yeah,
where do you file a consumer protection complaint in Maryland? With Brian E. Frosh, looks like look like a happy dude, and the Maryland Attorney General, and the Consumer Protection Division, which deals in making sure that people aren't scamming, and of course getting on their butt if they do.
yes. And as I was talking about earlier, some people think that after they get scammed, that it's over. I just got to take it off. These are resources that really help you
Mhm.
with consumer protections.
And what is the BBB? The Better Business Bureau. And with this is where I guess the more like the tactical parts of enlisting a complaint go in, because these all tie to the FTC, and of course the consumer protection programs. And this is where you actually state what exactly issue you're
Yeah.
facing, and name one federal consumer protection agency. Generally speaking, they deal in credit card, prepaid cards, bank accounts, mortgages. I guess if you have something awry with those things, you target them or you contact them to get something out of
Yeah.
it, ideally. And the website is consumerfinance.gov if you wish to take note of it. Um, Very useful information. I cannot stress this enough. Very
Yeah.
useful information. And naming the steps to resolve a consumer complaint. You can take it from here.
Do your research. Read everything. You're in control until the money has been paid. Minimize sharing of personal information. Try to resolve with merchant. Complain when not satisfied. Boom. But complain in writing. Paper trail is always important and always useful.
Yes.
Turn to state federal regulators, licensing board, and trade organization for help.
Yeah.
Look, so we have a question. If you buy an item and you have the receipt and the tags on it, and you can return it, oh, you can return it to the store within 30 days.
Is that true or false? do you think, Tyler?
Yeah,
I think
maybe.
it's true. Because if I remember hearing correctly, unless it has stated that you has no refunds whatsoever in the business, then of course
Mm-hmm.
you
But it
can.
depends on the store.
It
They
depends
didn't
on the
say what
store.
type of store. We didn't
Yeah.
say what type of store. I didn't say what type of store.
I was thinking like a grocery store, so say. Like if you get something and the food is moldy at pat, like you get it and it's just straight up moldy.
Oh yeah, no, that's a different issue.
That's a different. But if
Yeah,
you
you
say
just
that
take
you
it
like,
like
if you
that.
didn't like it, or now you feel like you didn't want to eat it,
If
like
the
what
store has a no
what
refund
you
policy, then you can't. But
Yeah.
it has to be stated that there is a no refund policy.
Now, if the store have a no refund policy, but they give you moldy bread, you can still they still
Mhm.
have to give you your
I
money
mean,
back
so say
or a new
you
item.
bought a pack of pencils and they will probably like on sale, but the store doesn't say that you can't refund it, but you have the receipt and you have the pencils because you bought too many packs of pencils. What do
Hey,
you do after that?
that-
What would you do?
the
You
pencil
can't
gotta be
necessarily if you already opened them, then
You didn't.
the pencil gonna have to be horrible. Imagine refunding a pencil.
Like a pack of pencils. Pack of
like if it's
pencils and staples.
unopened and it states that you can return it, you could at least get store credit for it. But even if you can't, like even if they're unable to give you it in money, like in physical money, they have to give you at least something for it if they don't have it stated.
Yeah, I'll just keep the pencil.
If you buy an item that is defective and the store has a no refund policy, are you out of luck? What do you think in the comments? So what do you think?
So by defective would mean like as I was saying, let's say you get a game, let's say a Call of Duty game, but the game is broken, it's not working. Are you out of luck, or can you return it?
I've actually been in this situation. I bought 2K22 when it came out, and I played it for a while, and now it just randomly stopped working,
Mhm.
and I was gonna pay for it, like pay to try to get it fixed or refund it, but I think you had to pay for like a warranty on the game, and by that time I think I was just out of
Yeah,
luck.
like if it's okay, so if like a store, like if it's like a store issue, like if I get like a 2K22, let's take that for example, and it's working when I take it out the store, but I break it. Now that's a different story. But if I go into the store and 2K22 it wasn't working to begin with, if the item was defective, then I am entitled to either get
Yeah,
my
it
money
was.
back or get a refund.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, get a
being
refund
slow
or
when I
get a
first
new
got
product.
it, but it was working. But then it wouldn't load up at all.
Hmm.
And to be honest, I was so mad. Like I was crying. Like I was throwing the controller, like really raging on the game because it wasn't working. Like why would the game not work? Why would it not work? Come on, Sony. Come on, EAA. Come whatever it is.
Blame.
Come on,
Where
come
you
on.
where do you
Fix your
get
game.
where do you get it from?
I got it from GameStop.
Blame them,
I'm not
man.
going
That'll
back to
do it.
GameStop. Oh yeah, GameStop. I'm on YouTube.
Blame them. Sony ain't doing anything. What did they?
All right. So which deal do you think is better?
Uh,
One for $2.97 or two for $5.97.
ah, this will get you. You know, you
Mhm.
usually see the bundles and like, that's a great deal. That they be trying to hide something within that. You know. So what do you think, Tyler?
I think it's the two. If you get two ones, it's cheaper by a margin of a few cents.
Yes, it is.
You can save your penny because if you have your pennies on the ground, we can pick them up,
Yeah.
and then they'll equal up to something.
Pennies, yes.
It makes a difference, and companies like to bet on people saying, "Oh, it's just a bit of change,"
Right.
but they bet on enough people saying that
Yeah.
that can make them millions.
Yep.
Because to make one item or one product, it could be half of a penny or a whole penny. Like
Yeah, and another thing, like if you get like if you buy this something and it just you actually was owed like let's say $2, but you like it's just $2, not that important. You think the store? How many stores have that same treatment? Like if you try to buy item and you're $2 short, how many stores would be like, it's just a bit of money, you can go.
a lot
You
of them don't.
you meet some nice people there, but some they want all that money exact. Even if it's like 10 cents. I've encountered some store owners that they want their money exact.
Mm-hmm.
You ever think about
1
it?
cent short, you can't.
Jordans,
Get it.
they're made they're like 170, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, it only takes like 10 cents to make it. 10 cents to make a pair of shoes, and they sell them for 170.
That's quite the margin of
So
That's
they
error.
really
something.
need they 2 cent because that 2 cent is gonna help them make their next pair of shoes.
Mm,
So
penny.
penny, it's a penny. They have 9 cents. They need that one next cent. Then they have two shoes, and then they make more money. Yeah.
Yeah, this was basically
That's it.
uh,
If you have any questions or you want to share anything that we talked about, you can drop your questions in the comments. You know, I don't know if anybody's on here. Hello. Yeah.
yeah. So what is your main takeaway from this?
People are snakes.
Yes.
Be suspicious and don't trust the internet.
My main takeaway would probably be, be careful. These scammers, they're getting complex by the day. So just be aware. They're chess players.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to take your money. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Basically.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much.
More questions?
We'll see you next Monday for the final Money Monday.